Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Battleverse. Today we dive into one of the most shocking and intense events of the Russia-Ukraine conflict so far. Moscow, the very heart of Russia, was suddenly struck by a wave of 93 drones in what analysts are calling the largest drone attack to date. This strike has not only shaken Russia's defenses, but also changed the way modern warfare is being viewed across the world. In this review, we will explore the exterior destruction and city-wide chaos, the interior details of Moscow's defense networks, the performance of the drones themselves, the so-called safety features that Russia claims to have in place, the unique selling points of this kind of drone warfare, overall price both economically and politically, and finally conclude with what this means for the war and the future of global security. The exterior scene in Moscow was nothing short of apocalyptic. Witnesses reported fireballs lighting up the night sky as dozens upon dozens of drones swooped in from multiple directions. The horizon was lined with glowing trails as anti-aircraft systems desperately tried to intercept the incoming swarm. Apartment buildings, administrative centers, industrial depots, and even the outskirts of government districts were suddenly under threat. Explosions echoed across the city, causing windows to shatter, vehicles to burn, and residents to flood underground shelters in panic. For the first time in the war, Moscow itself, a city often portrayed as untouchable, looked vulnerable, scarred, and exposed. Flames rose across several districts, and the skyline of one of the most powerful nations in the world became a canvas of smoke and fire. Now, shifting into the interior, the very heart of Moscow's defense systems and its command structures were pushed to the limit. Russia has always boasted of its advanced S-400 missile systems, layered defenses, and electronic jamming technologies. But the sheer number 93 drones overwhelmed the interior coordination of its forces. The command centers had to scramble to detect, track, and prioritize targets, but even with their full electronic warfare efforts, a portion of the drones penetrated deep into the city. The panic inside the command bunkers was palpable as officers scrambled to maintain communication and avoid system overload. The psychological impact on Moscow's population was also part of this interior collapse. Citizens who once believed the war was distant suddenly found themselves hearing the roar of explosions and the hum of drones above their very homes. The mental toll of such an attack on millions of people inside the capital cannot be underestimated. Because war was no longer something they watched on television. It became something they lived through in real time. When examining performance, these drones revealed just how powerful unmanned aerial technology has become. Each drone was small, agile, and relatively inexpensive compared to the missiles fired to intercept them. They were deployed in massive numbers, saturating the skies in a strategy known as swarm warfare. The sheer coordination and timing ensured that even if a large portion were intercepted, enough would slip through to strike meaningful targets. Performance metrics showed that Russia's air defense was able to shoot down many of them. But the drones that survived still caused fires, damaged infrastructure, and left a symbolic mark that will haunt Moscow's security narrative. Compared to conventional weapons, these drones delivered a powerful performance-to-cost ratio, proving why they are being increasingly used in modern battlefields around the world. Safety features in this context take on a different meaning. Russia's safety features included air raid sirens, underground shelters, and emergency fire response units. Yet, these systems were not sufficient to protect civilians from fear and damage. Reports indicated delays in activating alarms, confusion among emergency responders, and fire spreading faster than crews could contain. On the Ukrainian side, safety features of the drones included their small radar signature and pre-programmed flight paths that made them difficult to track. They could navigate independently, avoiding jamming attempts and ensuring maximum survivability. While Moscow's defensive safety features failed to prevent panic, the drones' built-in stealth and guidance mechanisms highlighted the imbalance between old defensive doctrines and new offensive tools. The unique selling points of this event, and why it grabbed the world's attention, are clear. First, the scale. Never before had nearly 100 drones been unleashed on a major world capital. Second, the symbolism. Striking Moscow undermined the illusion of invincibility and forced the world to see that even superpowers are not immune to evolving technology. Third, the affordability and replicability. Drones that cost just thousands of dollars were able to bypass multi-million-dollar defense systems, exposing the flaws of traditional military investments. And finally, the psychological impact. The fear that residents of Moscow now carry will linger, shaping public opinion and possibly influencing Russia's internal politics. These unique elements combined made this attack a turning point in drone warfare history. The price of this attack is multifaceted. On the Ukrainian side, the cost of deploying 93 drones is relatively low compared to traditional missile barrages. But the price paid was in terms of escalation, as Russia will now intensify retaliation, possibly targeting civilian infrastructure across Ukraine even more aggressively. For Russia, the economic price includes damage to buildings, industrial facilities, and emergency resources stretched thin. The political price, however, is far greater. The Kremlin's narrative of safety and strength has been shattered, and this will not only affect domestic trust, but also international perception of Russia's defensive competence. For ordinary citizens, the price was sleepless nights, destroyed homes, and an inescapable fear that the next wave could be even worse. Globally, the price also translates into a warning. Every capital city in the world must now reconsider how vulnerable it might be to swarming drone strikes in the future. In conclusion, the attack on Moscow by 93 drones is more than just another chapter in the Russia-Ukraine war. It is a case study in the future of warfare where low-cost, high-impact drones can outmaneuver traditional defenses and redefine what safe even means in the modern world. The exterior showed us flames and destruction. The interior revealed panic and system failures. The performance highlighted how efficient drones can be. The safety features exposed the weaknesses of outdated doctrines. The unique selling points made this event globally symbolic, and the price showed us the heavy burden on every side. Moscow in Flames is not just a moment in time. It is a warning of a new era where technology can bring even the most fortified cities to their knees. The world is watching closely, and as this conflict continues, we will likely see even more dramatic demonstrations of drone power. For now, one truth remains clear. The age of drone warfare has fully arrived, and Moscow just learned that lesson in the most painful way possible.